Guys, I thought I'd just make a video about recovery and what that looks like. So using various devices, I use Whoop. It's a really good piece of kit. It will track the variability of your heart rate, which means that it's the responsiveness of your nervous system, how quickly your heart rate goes up and goes down and responds to stimulus. And sort of in very simple terms, the greater the heart rate variability, the more primed your nervous system is to take on stress, take on strain, as they call it with Whoop. And that is impacted by lots of different things. The main one is to do with sleep. But actually, what I have discovered is that stress plays a major role in your heart rate variability and how recovered your body is. And it also monitors things like your heart rate, your resting heart rate. And what I've noticed, so we made some fairly significant changes to our business over the last 12 months. And the major, the really big changes sort of occurred since February this year. So the last 6 or 7 months. We're October now, so even more, 8 months. So my resting heart rate was 64, sort of going to the top end of my stress. And my heart rate variability was a 27, which is incredibly low, which means it was very under a lot of stress. And I tracked my blood pressure as well. It was like nearly hypertensive, so it was 140 over like 95. Scary. And since we made the significant changes, stress levels alleviated, and I've seen every month on month my heart rate variability has gone up 1 point every single month, which means sleep's better, training's better, how my body is much better, and the resting heart rate has gone down 1 point for the last 6 months, more or less, down 64 now, down to like 59, 58, which for me at 6'5" and 95 kgs, it's significantly lower than, sort of what it has been. And I think it's really important to remember that often we live with a lot of stress, and we're not just sort of one world, we just sort of live with it. But putting up with it isn't a good thing. And tracking your data is 100% key to you understanding whether it's time to make changes or not. And I think that what's been most indicative of this is that by making changes to my lifestyle, I've actually seen improvements to my health. And it's not like physical changes to my health have occurred as a result of the choices that I've made with my business. And I think that's a really interesting thing to look at. And I think it's definitely something that we should all consider and we should all explore. And that's why tracking your numbers using these devices is really important, because that's pushing towards, if you made no changes, I'd be pushing myself towards risk of heart problems and hypertension, so things like stroke would have been on the cards. And I think that we don't really realize that because we just it's our normal, but actually like challenging, like, is that a good normal? Is that really something that I'm prepared to live with? Is often the case. And certainly for me it was like, no, I'm not prepared to live with it. But also, is there something that you are putting up with right now that is your normal, that you should think maybe I should choose not to live with this, and make changes as appropriately? Getting a coach, having a conversation, making some larger sort of career choices, depends on what the challenge is for you. But anyway, tracking data, really important, especially with Whoop. And if you've got any questions, just post it to the comments. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Speak to you soon.